Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please give your confirmations on the chat box, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your confirmations on the chat box. Thank you very much for your confirmations. Let us stop the chat. Yes, let us stop the chat. So what is our plan for today? In the last session, we have discussed about introduction to DevOps. I hope you know why DevOps is very important now in the current industry. So in this session, you will understand how to create a new AWS account. You should be comfortable creating a new AWS account because all the DevOps tools, what we are learning as part of our course, will be implemented on AWS platform. So that's the reason I'm sure some participants are directly jumping into DevOps. Okay, there are some participants who have completed AWS and now coming into DevOps, and there are few participants who are directly jumping into DevOps. Especially for them, we'll spend some time quickly how to create a new AWS account. And then the prerequisite for DevOps, the only prerequisite for DevOps is you should be comfortable with basics of Linux. So you need a Linux environment. So we will be learning how to create a Linux environment on AWS, and not only just creating a Linux environment, we'll learn how can we connect to Linux machine, this time with a different terminal called Git Bash. So you will understand what is Git Bash and how can we connect to this Linux terminal using Git Bash. So these are all our topics for today's session. So before moving on, let's have interaction, this time with Girish. How are you, Girish? Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is, I am planning to take up this course and wanted some more information about the content.
Okay.
Regarding the AWS DevOps.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing is that how many projects we are going to do it in DevOps.
Okay.
And one more thing, like if I take up this course, will I able to work independently after completing this course or not?
Okay. Now your first question is related to projects. Okay.
Yes.
The first question is related to projects. Okay. It's not like how many projects we'll be covering in this particular course. Okay. All the tools what we'll be covering are from the real-time use cases point of view. So all the examples are from real-time cases. But specific to projects, every 45 days or every 2 months, we will have one project explanation. Okay. This is the project explanation is not specific to this particular batch. It's for entire batches. There we will have a workshop on explanation of projects. So there will be one project session which will be planned for December. Okay, Girish?
Okay.
Okay, we already have completed 4 projects. All the 4 projects are available in the YouTube channel. I request you to watch the YouTube channel and look at the cloud projects. And this is the 5th project which we are planning for the month of December. Okay.
Okay.
So those projects you have to understand it and you have to showcase as your responsibility in the interview so that it will be very effective. Okay.
Okay.
That's about the first question. And coming to second question, yes, I mean we will, as we are very strong in foundation, you should be in a position to independently work with, or you should be in a position to explore more as per the requirements after this particular training so that you can deliver your requirements. Okay.
Okay.
Anything more, Girish?
No, like as of now, we are learning I'm learning the AWS.
By Mr. Ankit.
Yes. Correct. That is in the morning batch, 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And if I complete, will I able to cope up with this AWS DevOps batch?
Yeah, you can. Anyways, you have already started AWS, right? So you can parallelly learn DevOps, no doubt.
Okay. And for the development field, which is better to learn? Is it the AWS or the Azure thing?
What do you mean by development field?
So as of now, I'm working with the .NET development.
Okay.
So I heard that for the .NET developers, in order to inline with the development with respect to the .NET, Azure is the best thing to learn.
Correct. You're right, because .NET is again Microsoft product, agree, and most of the Microsoft clients goes for Azure. So for .NET professionals, Azure is recommended.
Okay.
If you want to change your technology, anyways, you can do it by AWS, but Azure sings much. Okay.
So do you have any information like when Azure is going to start?
No, right now we have no information. It will take some time, definitely 1 month.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Girish. Ayesha Malika.
Hi Sunil, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Ayesha. How are you doing?
Yeah, I am doing good. How about you?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, hope you remember I sent a mail that I'm currently working and I just wanted to opt for DevOps course. So all my queries got clarified. I have only one question. So currently I'm a Python developer having 5 years of experience. But since, I'm no more interested in coding, I thought I will either switch to testing or DevOps. But I started exploring DevOps seems to be, like interesting for me. So I just want to know, like, how can I portray myself because I'm already having 5 years of Python experience.
You are right.
So
you are in the right track.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into programming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So DevOps is, there's no much programming involved in DevOps because we are not developers. Okay.
Yeah.
We are DevOps engineers. So we'll be handling all these tools and we'll be coordinating these two development teams as well as operations teams. So this is the right course for you if you are not interested in the programming. Definitely it is better than testing.
Okay. How my salary will get affected, Sunil, since
so first you have 5 years of experience, right?
Yeah.
5 years of experience you're having in Python, right?
Python.
So after learning DevOps, what you have to do, you have to create a resume such a way that latest 3 years of experience you have to mention it in DevOps, and 2 years of experience you have to mention your actual experience. This is how you have to prepare your resume. Number of years remains the same, 5 years, but you have to split your experience, mention the 3 years of experience in DevOps. Once you perfectly learn our course, you'll understand what kind of roles and responsibilities needs to be placed and what kind of projects needs to be placed to fill this 3 years of DevOps gap. Okay. So once you create this resume, automatically this is how you can shift your
but one thing I have observed that so far there was no specification like .NET engineer or Python developer or something like that. But I have joined the new company where specifically they have mentioned as Python developer. So
doesn't matter. Your current role doesn't matter, Ayesha. Okay. Don't worry about your current role. No.
Yeah,
so once you are once you acquire skill sets, create a resume, and then let's move on. Okay.
Meanwhile, I have joined Ankit's AWS course also.
Okay. You have done a good. Yes, you are in right track.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Malika.
Thank you so much.
How do you know about this course? I mean, AWS or
I got to know about this course from one of my LinkedIn friend. He is currently working as a DevOps engineer. He's a lead. So I was just collecting information from him. Then he told like, this is the best way I can start from here. And even I have gone through your recordings. So previously, and I liked it. I thought like it's easy for me to understand you. So I joined this course.
Okay. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you.
Vijay Kumar.
Hi Sunil, this is
How are you?
Doing good actually. My thing here is so is there any channel way to communicate with the team or you or something like that?
You want to communicate to my team regarding what?
Regarding anything actually. So you for any alerts or something for any.
So you have our email address, right? So this is our email address, which you can see the support@logiclabstech.com. Okay. So this is for our to communicate to our team. Our team will respond to your emails. Okay.
Okay. The other thing here
is technical questions. If you want, you can communicate to my email address. Instead of support, you mention it as sunil@logiclabstech.com.
Okay. So the other thing here is so here we will be discussing about the DevOps, right?
Correct.
So is there any separate thing only for AWS?
We have a separate course for AWS.
Okay, so it's a complete. Normally, if you go for a job thing or something, jobs research, so a separate role will be there for AWS and a DevOps separate will be there or what?
Yeah, there are AWS professionals. There is a separate role called AWS professionals or cloud engineers. So they will be working on AWS platform. There is a separate team for DevOps professionals. Both are completely different, but DevOps professionals are expected to have skills in AWS also now.
So AWS pure means it will be like something like networking or something like that,
yes, right? It's all about services like how to create virtual machines, VPC. So these tools are not covered. Which one? Yesterday, so in the AWS, you're talking about the core AWS, right?
Yes.
In the core AWS, these are not covered. Which one? 1 minute. So in the core AWS, Git, Jenkins, Docker, all these are not available. Okay. That's a different content. Okay. So this is DevOps tools. Okay. So that is the core AWS is different. DevOps is different.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. But now every DevOps professional is expected to be good in AWS also.
So, okay, a proficiency is required or just knowledge is required on AWS?
No, proficiency is not required. Basic to medium level is required.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you.
One more final call before moving on. I think Kapil is waiting from a long time. How are you doing, Kapil H?
Hey, hi Sunil.
How are you, Kapil?
Yeah, I'm good. So actually, I have some doubts regarding the DevOps and AWS. So as per the roadmap, which I have seen in the some of the recording, you have mentioned that AWS certified developer. So will this
No,
course
it's
cover
AWS
that?
certified solutions architect. I have mentioned. Okay, not developer. Kapil.
Okay, so but in one of the video you have mentioned that AWS certified solution architecture is one way and another way is AWS certified developer.
There are two
So
roles.
what is the, okay, so I just want to learn the developer role. So what will be the content and it is going to be covered here?
70 per,
or-
no, this is not, this is DevOps course, Kapil. Okay.
Okay.
So the first point, coming to AWS, there are two types of roles, as you have mentioned, AWS certified solutions architect
Right.
and AWS developer.
Right.
In fact, 70% of the content is the same for both.
Okay. 70% content.
70% of the content is so once you are good in AWS, you should be in a position to work as a developer as well as an architect. General. Okay. The concept.
Okay. What? Okay, so coming to AWS developer, so what other things we need to learn as a part of 30%?
I will share you course content, or you can search in the Google. There is a different course content for certified solutions architect. In solutions architect, there are close to 17 services. In AWS developer, there are close to 14 services, but there are 11 services which are common. Okay, so if
But
you
actually,
search,
I search in the Google and I search in your website as well, but I did not found related to DevOps, means AWS developer. So can you just guide me which course I need to join to learn this AWS developer on your Logitech?
we are not providing this developer course.
Okay.
Okay, from our institute, we are not providing this. We are providing only one course, AWS Certified Solutions Architect. That is a preferred course for every resource who want to get into AWS industry. Okay.
So if I want to learn the development part, so what additional things I need to learn? Can you please share the
right now I cannot share it because we have a specific agenda to be discussed on today's session.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Send an email to support. Okay. Our team will respond to you. The course content of solutions architect, the course content of, anyways, we are not providing developer, but still you get the course content so that you can compare what are common and what are not common. Okay.
Okay. So if I learn this AWS thing from your training institute,
which
so
one
I
you are
can
planning to
cover
learn, the first one or second one?
First one. If I
Okay.
learn that, so I can cover like 70%, right? So another 30%, can you just guide me where I can take those things? Hello?
No, I don't want. I repeat again. For developer, for DevOps, okay. Hello. For DevOps,
Yeah.
this is the right course. Solutions
Okay, for the DevOps. Okay. So in that case, I need to take the DevOps as well as the AWS. Both the course I need to opt, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, then if I opted for this both the course, I can get 70% of the AWS developer, and then remaining 30% I need to like work by my own, or I can get it from the internet or Google, something like that.
You are right.
Okay. So for the developer, do I need to require any database knowledge?
Not required.
Not required. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
Kapil.
Sunil. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. How are you doing, Tiku Elvis? Good morning for you.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Can you hear me? I'm good. Yeah, I was asking. I don't have an idea in any of this, so one of my brother sent me here to share me the link. So I haven't have an idea in any of this. So is it? Do I have to start as to start it, or I need to know something else?
Your voice is not clear, Elvis.
I was asking. Can you hear me now?
Your voice is not clear. Please send your question to this email.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please, I'll try. Please tell me, repeat your question.
Yes. I don't have any idea on DevOps and
Okay.
AWS.
Okay.
Yes. So
No problem. You can
one
start.
of my okay. So it's the right place to start here.
You are right, because what is the prerequisite for DevOps? The prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. It's not AWS.
Okay.
Okay. So AWS knowledge, what is required to learn DevOps? I will be covering the 10% of AWS knowledge. Okay. So you can start with DevOps, no doubt.
Okay.
But you also have to learn AWS also. Okay. AWS skills are also important. Okay. So please learn AWS also after DevOps or parallelly. You can do it so that you will be ready to get hired. Okay.
All right.
I'm a creative.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move on. Let's move on. As you know, the title of this course is, is DevOps, what we are learning, and we are learning it on AWS. Okay, so all the DevOps tools, what I have mentioned yesterday, we'll be installing it and managing it on AWS cloud platform. So you have to be comfortable with AWS, creating instances in the AWS, managing the infrastructure on AWS. So for people who are directly jumping into DevOps, like I have just discussed about just now, we have one participant directly jumping into DevOps without having AWS. So let's spend some time how to create a new AWS account. If anybody asks you what is AWS, it's nothing but a platform. It's a cloud platform, which is nothing but collection of services, as simple as that. Okay, so AWS is nothing but collection of services. So, okay, so if you want to experience this collection of services, you have to have an AWS account. So let's learn the process of creating an AWS account. So I will be showing you how to create a new AWS account today. If you want to create a new AWS account, you have to have 3 details with you. You should have your email address. No doubt, we all have an email address. We should have a mobile number. We all have a mobile number. Make sure that if you're having 2 mobile numbers, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. Please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. You should, if you want to create an AWS account, you should have an email address. You should have a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. You should have a debit card. Credit card could be difficult, but debit card, we all having a debit card. Okay, so if you have email address, if you have a mobile number, and if you have a debit card, if you have these 3 details with you, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. Point number 1, your debit card should be enabled for international transactions. Whenever a banker issues your debit card, whenever you open a savings account, you get a debit card. By default, the debit card will be disabled for international transactions. You have to talk to your banker customer care and make sure that you enable your debit card for international transactions. When you enable the debit card for international transactions, it will take 1 day to get enabled. Okay, so you have to wait for 1 day for the debit card to be enabled for international transactions. So please enable debit card for international transactions. One more important point. Visa card will work, okay, and MasterCard will work, but RuPay card will not work. Please do not use RuPay card. Okay, please use Visa card or debit card. So please make sure that you have a Visa card or MasterCard which is enabled for international transactions. Once you have these details with you, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. The URL for creating a new AWS account is aws.amazon.com. The URL to create a new AWS account is aws.amazon.com. So go to this particular website. Let me show you. So I am using this, I'm pointing to this website, aws.amazon.com. So this is the Amazon cloud platform. I already have an account. I already have an account. So as I already have an account, let me log into AWS and I show you. As I mentioned, AWS is nothing but a simple collection of services. Let me show you where exactly you will find those collection of services in the AWS platform. Sign into the console. I already have an AWS account, so I'm logging it with my email address. I have logged in. Whenever you log into, I already have an AWS account. With my existing AWS account, I'm logging into AWS Management Console. Okay, so once you log in, you will find the console homepage. This is called the console homepage. AWS is what? As I have mentioned, AWS is collection of services. You may have a question, Sunil, where exactly this collection of services are available? I'll show you. Can you see the left side top? You will find services. When you click on this, you will find these are all the list of services available. Are you understanding? So AWS is collection of services. So these are all the services provided by AWS. Huge number of services which are arranged according to the alphabetical order. Are understanding? So AWS is collection of services. So I have shown you collection of services. I've shown you how to log into AWS account. If you want to log into AWS account, you have to have an account. I already have an account. That's the reason I'm able to successfully log in. If you're not having an account, I'll show you how to create a new account now. I have logged out. If you don't have an account, so click on sign into the console, and if you have an account, you can enter the details. If you're not having an account, scroll down here. We have an option of create new AWS account. We have an option of create new AWS account. When you click on this, you'll be entered into a wizard. AWS is providing a free account for a period of 1 year. The account which you are creating now, AWS account, is free for a period of 1 year with some limitations. This free account is more than enough for us to practice hands-on to do DevOps. So remember, the AWS account, what we are creating is a free account, which is period of 1 year. Okay, so let's proceed. So let me proceed. I have clearly taken a screenshot. It's a 6-step process. Creating an AWS account is a 6-step process. I already have mentioned the screenshot. You need to provide your email address. You have to provide your account name and click on proceed. So I already have taken a screenshots. Please follow this document. And if you are not having an AWS account, please go ahead and create an AWS account now. To create a new AWS account, as I have mentioned, the step 1 is go to the URL aws.amazon.com, as you already have experienced. As I have mentioned, AWS account is free for a period of 12 months. Yes, very good. Look at this. As I said, you have to furnish your email address. The first important thing what you need is an email address. So this you have to furnish in step 1. Whenever you start creating an AWS account, the first value what you have to enter is email address. You have to provide your email address, provide your login password. This is your login password, and provide your AWS account name. So you have to mention your AWS account name. You have to select one account name that should be unique. Click on continue. So step 1, you have provided email address and login password. So this you have mentioned in step 1. Now, once you provide your email address and login password, step 2, please look at this. Step 2 is contact information. It will ask your mobile number. Okay, and not only mobile number, there are a few important points you need to keep in mind. There are 2 types of accounts, professional account and personal account. Can you see here in the screenshot? There are 2 types of accounts, professional account and personal account. We are creating an AWS account for your personal use. You are creating an AWS account for your personal use. So select it as personal, provide your full name, provide your mobile number. Can you see here, provide your mobile number, select the right country. I've seen some participants entering the India mobile number and country they selected as US. That's wrong. Please select the right, provide the right mobile number, select the right country. So step 2, we have to provide your mobile number, contact information. Step 1, we have provided email address. Step 2, you have provided your mobile number. Step 3, obviously the payment information, where you have to provide your debit card details. As simple as that. Can you see it? You have to provide your debit card, you have provided expiration date. That's what I have done it here. Please observe. I have provided my debit card, I have provided my expiration date, I have provided my card holder name, I have provided my CVV, I have provided all my details. It will ask you, do you have PAN? I don't need to furnish plan. Click on no and click on verify and add. So I have provided my debit card details on step 3. Okay, step 1, you have provided email address and login password. Step 2, you have provided your contact address with mobile number. Step 3, you have provided your debit card details. Next. Once you provide your debit card details, AWS will deduct 2 rupees from your debit card to verify whether the debit card what you have entered is correct or not. You get an OTP to verify your debit card. You get an OTP to verify your debit card. Provide your valid OTP so that the verification of debit card will be done. Next. Next, you get one more OTP to verify your mobile number. There are 2 OTPs. Okay. One OTP to verify whether the debit card is valid or not. That is from the bank records. One more OTP to make sure that the mobile number what you have provided is valid or not. Verify your mobile number. So that's what they have to verify the mobile number. Once you verify the mobile number, AWS provides 3 types of plans, my dear friend. AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. Basic plan is free, so please select the basic plan. This is more than enough for us to do hands-on with respect to DevOps course. Please select basic plan. Next. It will ask you your role. You can select any role from the drop-down list, and it will ask you several technologies. You have to select the technology of your interest and click on submit. You're done. Done. You get a thank you message and you get a confirmation email saying that your debit card, your AWS account has been successfully created. So my dear friends, this is the process of creating an AWS account. So creating an AWS account is very simple. Please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Make sure that you use debit card, which is enabled for international transactions. Clear? Clear about this? This is the process of it. Just takes just hardly 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. If you follow, if you make sure that the debit card is enabled for international transactions, if you provide valid mobile number, valid email address, valid debit card, just validate it, and the AWS account is created. Once an AWS account is created, it will take 8 hours of time for the AWS account to get activated. Creation is different, activation is different. Okay, once the AWS is account created, you get a mail saying that successfully created an AWS account. After 8 hours, you get one more email from the AWS saying that your AWS account is activated, you can start using it. So please wait for approximately 8 hours for the AWS account for an activation mail. Once you get an activation mail, yes, you can go ahead and log in. As you have just experienced, you can log in and get into AWS cloud. Clear? Clear about this? My dear friends, am I clear in explaining you? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you the process of creating a new AWS account? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. I have seen many participants who already know the process of creating AWS account, especially for participants who are directly jumping into DevOps without AWS knowledge. I have very clear. Please make sure you enable debit card for international transactions, or you can use credit card. It's up to you. Please proceed and create a new AWS account. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're done with creating an AWS account. Okay, now next. Once you have an AWS account ready with you, the next thing the process of learning DevOps is with prerequisite. As you know, as I have mentioned many times, Linux is a very important prerequisite for the DevOps professionals. Every DevOps professional should be very good in basics of Linux. You don't need to be good in Linux administration part, but very important basics is you should be comfortable with. So let's make ourselves comfortable with Linux. So if you want to learn the basics of Linux, can you learn basics of Linux in your Windows laptop? No, it's not possible. How can I learn Linux here in my Windows laptop? It's not possible. We need a Linux environment. So option 1, you can format this laptop and install Linux, which no one wants. The best thing is, as you have an AWS account ready with you, in the AWS, you can create a Linux machine. AWS is a cloud platform where you can create your own virtual machines. If you want to create a Windows machine in AWS, you can create it. If you want to create a Mac operating system in AWS, you can create it, but our plan is to create a Linux machine. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. Let's go ahead and create a Linux machine. And then learn the Linux commands on the Linux machine, which is created on AWS. So what is our next plan? So what is our next plan? Our next plan, what is our next plan? Our next plan is to create a Linux machine on AWS. Whenever you want to create what is AWS? I repeat again. One small statement. AWS is nothing but collection of, yes, you are right. You are right. AWS is nothing but collection of services. As I just mentioned before, As I have mentioned before, AWS is collection of services. AWS is collection of close to, I think, 200 services. Okay, it is collection of 200 services. Out of these hundreds of services which we have a service called as EC2. We have a service called EC2. What is EC2? It's the name of the service which helps you to create virtual machines. Which helps you to create a virtual machines. You can create a Windows machine inside AWS. You can create a Mac operating system. If you want to experience Mac laptop, you don't need to buy Mac laptop. You can create a Mac machine inside the AWS. Apple Mac operating system, or if you want to create a Linux, if you want to experience Linux, you can create a Linux machine on AWS. Whichever the operating system you want, you can create those operating system. You can create those machines by using a service called as EC2. So what is our plan? Our plan is to learn Linux. So that is the reason using a service called as EC2. Let's go ahead and create a Linux machine. Let's go ahead and create a Linux machine. Perfect. Let's go ahead and create a Linux machine. Let me log into AWS again. You already know the URL. It is aws.amazon.com. Log in with your email address and password. Let me do that first. Whenever you log in, you get the home page, console home. Whenever you log in, the first page is called as console home. In the console home, as you have observed, at the left side top right corner, top corner on the left side, you will find services option. AWS is collection of close to 200 services, out of which we are interested in one service called as EC2. So this is the EC2. We will be selecting the EC2 service because EC2 service helps in creating virtual machines on AWS. Let's proceed. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in. Let me log in to AWS. I have logged in. Whenever you log in, the first page, as I have mentioned, is console home. The first page, what you get is console home. In the left side, you find services. Can you see we have services? Inside the services, so we are using a service called, can you see EC2? If you don't find EC2, this EC2 service comes under compute section. Under compute section, can you see? And we have a compute section. So under compute section, we have a service called EC2. Can you read a hint message? It's all about virtual servers on call. It's all about virtual machines. So I'm selecting a service called EC2. Stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Go to instances. You do not have any instances in this region. So there are no instances. It's plenty. There are no machines. There are no machines. It's empty. Okay. So using a service called EC2, So what are we doing now? Using the service called EC2. So what are we planning? We are planning to create a Linux machine. Perfect. Okay. Yes. So let's go ahead and proceed and let's learn the process of creating a Linux machine. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Good evening, Ashish. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi, sir. How are you? My question is that if I don't want to do this manual creation, if I want to do it like 50 machines at a time, so how can we do that?
That is possible by using a tool called as Terraform. Okay. So when the volumes are high, okay. So when the volumes are high, we have a tool called as Terraform. Terraform is called as IaaC, infrastructure as code. You will be writing the code, and that code helps in creating hundreds of machines at once. Okay.
So that code will be in Python?
No. That's a Terraform code. It's different.
Terraform. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You know AWS before, Ashish?
A little bit. I mean,
Basics.
long
Okay.
year back. Yeah, very basics.
Thank you. Stanley. You are now allowed to unmute and talk, Stanley.
Hello, hello.
How are you, Stanley? I can
Yeah,
hear
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. But I'm having some issues here. I believe I created my AWS account, but to get to the EC2, what I don't see service, I see products, and then under product I see Amazon EC2. Is that the same as what you're
It
talking
is the
about?
same. It is the same.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Devendra Mabidi. Good evening. By default, you will be on mute. Devendra, you have to unmute and speak.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is my new to Logic Labs.
Okay.
So I'm looking out for a DevOps certification course, and I would like to move for DevOps domain. Currently, I'm in network domain
Very good.
from the past 7 years. So will this be helpful, right?
Okay. Let me reframe your question. Your question is, you want to learn certification course. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
In DevOps.
Yes.
First point, you have to know that there is no certification in DevOps.
Yes. I know that I'm looking for Kubernetes certification finally.
Correct. Okay. That means you want certification course not in DevOps. You want certification course in. Got it? Is this your question?
Yes. This is this.
Okay. So have you observed in our course content, we have Kubernetes?
Yes.
But we'll be spending only 5 days on Kubernetes.
Okay.
There's an exclusive Kubernetes course. Okay.
Okay.
For 20 days duration. So you have to enroll for this exclusive Kubernetes course if you want to become certified. Okay.
Okay.
This exclusively Kubernetes course is starting on January 1st week.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Roshni. Good evening, Roshni.
Good evening, sir.
Your question, please. How are you doing?
Sir, I'm fine. Sir, I'm fresher, sir. I just completed my BTech.
Okay.
And I'm interested to learn cloud.
Very good. Very good. Roshni, it's a good decision rather than learning traditional technologies like Java and .NET, learn latest technologies, which always add value to your profile. Okay.
Yes,
Any specific technical question you're having?
No, sir.
Good evening, Abbas. How are you doing, Abbas?
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Yes.
Sir, my name is Abbas. Actually, I wanted to ask, sir, that previously for the one complete last year, sir, I was learning this. What do you say? Hadoop. So, sir, actually, I am from civil domain, sir, and I was working in Muscat, but all of a sudden I switched to this domain, this IT domain. So I was learning Hadoop. So I was just curious that if I go for means after learning this course, how will I showcase my experience? Means I have a gap of almost 6-7 years, sir. So that's what I wanted to ask.
Okay.
I wanted to ask. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what happened to Hadoop?
No, Hadoop, I'm still learning. I'm practicing it. Since I'm learning Hadoop every day, but at the same time, I want to show my competency in AWS cloud as well as DevOps.
Okay.
Yes.
So Abbas, your case is no different like many others. Okay, you have to project experience. Okay, so you're not eligible for fresher. You have to project the experience. Perfectly learn the technologies, both the technologies. That one is AWS, the other one is DevOps. Okay, once you're perfect, because all our examples are from the real-time scenarios point of view. Once you perfectly understand the concept, you can easily create your profile, and you will understand what kind of roles and responsibilities needs to be mentioned in the resume, and then you'll be confident enough attending the interviews.
Yeah, and one more thing, sir. Actually, I am little confused, sir, because actually there are some few seniors in my previous institute. So they were like, Hadoop is going to be obsolete in the upcoming years. Means by 2023 or 2024, it will be obsolete. So this made me a little more curious that if Hadoop is going to go obsolete, so there won't be any jobs for Hadoop, because the organizations these days they are moving on to new technologies. I mean, new platforms.
Okay.
So for that reason, I wanted to ask that I did not waste, I spent my time learning Hadoop for complete 1 year, and as you know, so that 1 year is not enough to learn Hadoop, because Hadoop is very vast. So, but whatever amount of knowledge I have, means in 1 year I have almost like learned almost like 20% of Hadoop. But at the same time, I'm wishing to learn this AWS cloud and as well as this DevOps. So if I mention all these three competencies on my resume, so will it be helpful for me to get a job soon?
Okay.
That's what
First
I wanted to
point, DevOps is nowhere related to Hadoop. Okay.
Okay.
So if you learn DevOps, that will not help in Hadoop. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So which stream will be good
I
for
cannot
me, sir?
comment on Hadoop, but AWS DevOps is going good. Okay.
AWS and DevOps. So, sir, in my case, I have a gap of 6-7 years. So
doesn't matter.
Okay.
You have to project 3 years of experience in AWS and DevOps.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Done. As I have logged into AWS, let's go ahead and create a new machine. Okay. Let's create a new machine. What machine are we planning to create? A Windows machine? No, not at all. We are not planning for Windows machine, because the prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. We need a Linux environment. So let's create a Linux machine. Okay. So what is our agenda now? As our AWS account is ready, and inside the AWS account, we are using a service called EC2. From this EC2 service, what is our plan is to create a new machine. Okay. So whenever you want to create a new machine, I can say it as a machine. I can say it as an instance. I can say it as a new server. All these terminologies are the same. Are you understanding? I can say that I'm creating a Linux machine. I can also say that I'm creating a Linux instance. I can also say that I'm creating a Linux server. All these terminologies are same, synonyms. So now what I'm planning to do, I am planning to create a new Linux machine. Creating a Linux machine is a 6-step process. How many steps you need to follow? 6-step process. Okay. So let's go ahead and learn the process of creating a Linux machine. Can you see we have an option launch instance? We have an option called launch instance. Launch instance is helping you to create a new instance or a new machine. Click on launch instance. Okay. When you're creating a Linux machine, you have to provide a name to the machine. Can you see we have an option called name and tags? It's all about name to the machine. I'm naming it as machine 1. Name can be anything. I am creating a machine, Linux machine. I can name it as any machine. I can write it as Linux 1, my name. I'm writing it as machine 1. Okay. This is step 1. Step 1, I have provided name to the machine. Okay. Step 2, I have to select operating system. When I'm creating a Linux machine is having a lot of flavors. I can create Red Hat Linux. I can create Ubuntu flavor. I can go with SUSE Linux. Okay, there are different flavors of Linux. So you have to select what flavor of Linux machine. I want to create an Ubuntu machine. I want to create an Ubuntu flavor. So scroll down. Here you have an option of creating a Linux. You can go with Amazon Linux. You can create Ubuntu machine. You can create Red Hat. There are different flavors. You can see there SUSE Linux. There are all the options available. But in my case, I want to create an Ubuntu machine. I'm selecting it as Ubuntu. I have selected my operating system. Okay. So step 2. Step 1. What I have provided? I have provided a name. What is my name of the machine? I have named it as machine 1. Next step, what I have done? I have selected the operating system. What operating system I have selected? Ubuntu. Once you select an operating system, you have to select the version also. Can you see drop down? You'll get all the Ubuntu versions, Ubuntu 22, Ubuntu 20 version. Can you see Ubuntu Server 22, Ubuntu 20? There are different versions of Ubuntu operating system. So we have Ubuntu 18 also. And there are some options. Can you see we have an option free tier eligible? There are some operating systems which are not eligible for free tier. So remember, there are few versions which are eligible for free tier. There are few versions which are not eligible for free tier. I hope you remember we have created a new AWS account. It's a free tier account. So make sure that when you're selecting some options, please make sure that you're selecting free tier eligibilities. Let's say if you're selecting an operating system which is not eligible for free tier, so what happens? You may get bill in the month and you may get a bill. So be very careful. Make sure that you are selecting an operating system. Make sure you are selecting an operating system which is eligible for free tier. So in our case, there are free operating systems, operating system version 22, version 20, and I have version 18. So you can select any version. I'm going with Ubuntu version 18. You can go with 2022 also, not a problem. And it's a 64-bit operating system. So I have selected Ubuntu as well as both. I can make it as one step. I have selected version also. This becomes step 2. Step 3. This is important. Try to understand. What are we doing now? Try to understand. This is your AWS cloud. This is our AWS cloud platform. And we are creating a Linux machine. Am I right? Am I right? We are creating no doubt we are creating a Linux machine. So answer my question. What is the RAM of this Linux machine? What is the hard disk of the Linux machine? How many processors are available in the Linux machine? In other words, my question is, what is the hardware configuration of the Linux machine which we are creating? That's my question. No doubt, my dear friends, we are creating a Linux machine. Look at my questions. What is the RAM of that particular machine? What is the hard disk of that particular storage? What is the hard disk of that particular machine? When you're buying a laptop, obviously you ask these questions to the computer peripheral shop. So what is the memory? Is it an i5 processor or i7 processor? What is the storage? Is it 500 GB storage or 1 TB storage? Do you ask the configuration, right? In the same way, now when you are creating a Linux machine, what is the hardware configuration of the Linux machine? The hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on instance type. The hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on instance type. AWS provides different types of instances. AWS provides different types of instances. Can you see we have an instance type? When you click on drop-down list, you'll find many instance types available. The default instance type is T2 micro. What is the default option? The default instance type is T2 micro. The default instance type is T2 micro. What do you mean by T2 micro? T2 micro is nothing but 1 GB memory, very small machine. So when you select T2 micro, then what does that mean? It's a 1 GB memory with one processor. So that is a T2 micro instance. So if you feel, Sunil, 1 GB RAM, nowadays, even in mobile phone, we are having 8 GB RAM. So I need a higher configuration. Change the instance type and click on drop down list box. So you will find different options. This is the T2 micro, which is default instance type, which is eligible for free tier. Let's say you want a higher configuration. Let's say you can select 2 GB RAM. Let's say you don't want 2 GB RAM, you have 4 GB RAM option here. If you don't want 4 GB RAM, you have 8 GB RAM. If you don't want 8 GB, you want much more higher configuration, 32 GB RAM with 8 CPUs, with 2 CPUs, which are 4 CPUs. The more you scroll down, the higher configurations you get. You have an machine which you can create 128 gigabyte memory. You can see 256 gigabyte memory and 128 CPUs. So such a high speed configurations you can create, but these are machines are not eligible for free tier. The only instance type which is eligible for free tier is T2 micro. That is point of observation. These T2 micro machines are more than enough for us to experience the Linux environment. So I am selecting the instance type as T2 micro. When you select the instance type as T2 micro, that means you have the answers with you. The Linux machine which you are creating is, you have the answers with you. The Linux machine which we are creating is 1 gigabyte RAM and hard disk, yes, to be discussed. I'll be discussing this hard disk later. Coming to processor, it's one core processor. One CPU is nothing but one core processor. So you have the hardware configuration of RAM, you have the memory, and you have the hardware configuration of processor. Storage configuration we'll be discussing in the next step. So I hope you are very clear about the instance type. Step 3 is all about selecting the instance type. What is the instance type I have selected? I have the instance type selected as T2 micro. This is the instance type what I have selected. Step 3, I have named the machine. Step 2, I have selected operating system and version. So step 3, I have selected instance type. Step 4, obviously, I think you have to select the storage. Okay, now look at this. Very important. When you create a Linux machine, let's say you have successfully created Linux machine. Let's say you have successfully created Linux machine. Once you create a Linux machine from your personal laptop, my dear friends, try to understand, from your personal laptop, this will be very boring for the people who already are from AWS. Okay, from my personal laptop, I want to connect to the Linux machine. Let's say you have successfully created Linux machine, very good. Not only creating the Linux machine, you should be in a position to connect to that Linux machine and experience that Linux commands. How can you connect to the Linux machine? You can successfully connect to Linux machine only when you have key pair with you. I repeat again, you can successfully connect to the Linux machine only when you have key pair with you. You have my question, Sunil, what is this key pair? Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. So only when you have this PEM file, then only you can connect. Let's say if you're not having a PEM file, you cannot connect. Okay, so we want to connect, not just creating, you should be able to connect. So we should have a PEM file. We should have a key pair. So here I'm showing you how to generate the key pair. So next step, when you scroll down, it is asking for key pair. And you have to create a new key pair because you want to have the key pair with you. You have to create a key pair. Once I create a key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem, and I want to create a key pair and I want to save that key pair in my E drive. In my E drive, I create a new folder, or in my desktop. Look at this. Desktop, I'm creating a new folder with the name, let's say with our batch name Devops. Devops is my folder name. In this particular Devops folder, I want to save my key pair. My dear friends, in this particular Devops folder, which is available in the desktop, I want to save my key pair. So I have created a folder ready with me. So now look at this, go to AWS, and then yes, you have to create a new key pair. Click on new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. I'm writing it as Sunil KP. Today's date 23. Key pair name can be anything, my dear friends. So mention the key pair name and then click on create key pair. When you click on create key pair, now it is asking you, it is downloading the key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. Where do you want to download it? You can download it anywhere, but in my case, I want to download in my desktop. In my desktop, I have created a new folder just now, that is Devops. Am I right? In this Devops folder, I want to save my key pair. Very important. This is one of the most important point. You can successfully connect to the Linux machine only when you have a key pair with you. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. At the process of creating the Linux machine, in somewhere step number 4, in fact, when you follow the wizard, it helps you to, there's an option called creating a key pair. I have created a key pair. Not only creating the key pair is downloaded. Where it is downloaded? In my desktop. Can you see Devops folder? This is the key pair which has been successfully downloaded. Very good. That's good. Next, so step 4 is downloading the key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .10. Next, let's proceed. Security group, network settings. It is asking for network settings. Take the default options. Don't worry about the default options. Take your security group is all about opening the port. Don't take the take the default option. By default, SSH port is open. For people who are completely new to networking, just want to give you some information, my dear friends. If you want to look at this, if you want to connect to the Linux machine, if you want to connect to the Linux machine, please have a look at it. Port should be open. What should be open? My dear friends, port should be open. Okay. Only when the port is nothing but a gate. Just creating a Linux machine. If you close the ports, you cannot connect. If you want to connect, your port should be open. Okay, using the port only will connect. For example, you buy a laptop. Sorry, you buy a pen drive. How do you connect to a pen drive? Using the USB port. Port is nothing but a gate. Your pen drive will communicate to your laptop using the USB port. Ports are nothing but gates of communication. You want to connect your laptop to television. You use what the port? HDMI port. HDMI port is nothing but a special port for communication to the high definition consoles like television. So ports are nothing but points of communication. So it understands very intelligently. It by default automatically opens the SSH port. This is just for your information. You don't worry about that. Scroll down. Storage. Storage, I said one hardware configuration is pending. That is nothing but hard disk. Hard disk is nothing but storage. By default, AWS provides you 8 GB of storage. Okay, so we got the information. So storage information is nothing but the hard disk, 8 GB of hard disk. Okay, so our Linux machine is 1 GB memory, 8 GB storage, and one core processor. This is your configuration. Very good. Scroll down. Scroll down. That's it. You're done with your details. So please look at the summary. We are creating how many instances? We are creating 1 instance. In a single shot, you can go ahead and create 10 instances also. Number of instances, you can change it to 10. Okay, but I want to create only 1 instance and you can review the details. We are creating 1 instance of Ubuntu version 18, which is of T2 micro instance. So which is 1 volume of 8 GB volume is nothing but a storage with a security group. That's good. That's very well fine. We are done with the default options with respect to security groups and click on launch instance. So this is the process of creating a new instance. So we have successfully launched the instance. Scroll down and here we have an option of view all instances. So you can see this is the name of the machine which we have mentioned. This machine is in the process of creation. We are done with creating a Linux machine. Step 1, today you have learned the process of creating new AWS account. Not only creating a new AWS account, now you're in a position to launch the Linux machine inside your AWS account. This will take just 1 minute or less than 2 minutes for the machine to get launched. Okay. One more question. You have created a Linux machine, no doubt. My question is, where did you create this Linux machine? Where did you create this Linux machine? You may have answered, Sunil. We have created Linux machine on AWS cloud. You said the cloud platform is used for creating Linux machine. You are right, no doubt. But in which data center you have created Linux machine? You can see here, this is the Linux machine which we have created in the Mumbai data center. Can you see in the right side top? Can you see what is this? This is a Mumbai data center. So AWS is having data centers all over the world. AWS is having data centers all over the world. You can see we can create this Linux machine in Singapore data center also. You can create this Linux machine in Mumbai also. So all this you can create it. Okay. So Hyderabad is yet to start. Okay. So but just for your information, please take a note of it. Make sure that you remember in Mumbai, we have created this Linux machine. The Linux machine is started, I think. It's already running state. The machine is successfully created. So we are done with the second milestone. So we have now know how to create a new AWS account. You also now know how to create a Linux machine on AWS. Okay, next. Machine is ready. Next, how to connect. My dear friends, we should not only know, you know how to create, very good. But you should be able to successfully connect, okay? Whenever you want to connect to the Linux machine, listen to this point. Whenever you want to connect to this Linux machine, that connection is possible by using SSH command. My dear friends, which command is used to connect to Linux machines? This is the Linux machine which is running successfully. But if you want to connect to this Linux machine, what command should be used? What command should be used? SSH command should be used. Okay, you don't need to write the SSH command. AWS provides you the SSH command. How to get the SSH command? Select the machine whichever you want to connect. This is the machine we want to connect. We have an option called connect button. Go to connect button. Connect button. Can you see we have a SSH command? This is the SSH command. Simple. This is the SSH command which is used to connect to the Linux machine. Command is readily available. You don't need to type the command. Very good. Command is ready. You have created the machine and you know the command which is used. We have to execute this command to connect to the Linux machine. Okay. Next question. Sunil, where should we run this command? Command is ready. Where should we run this command? Should we run this command from the browser? Interesting, right? So do we run it from the browser? They should an environment, right? No, browser is not the way to connect to Linux machine. Where should we run the browser? We should run the command in the notepad. Where should we run? We should run the command. Where should we run? We will be running this command in the terminal. We need a terminal. We need a right terminal to connect to run the SSH command. Examples of terminal is putty is one terminal which helps you to connect to Linux machine. But I will be not using putty. I will be using a terminal called Git Bash. Okay, now I have an answer question. I have a question for you. What is Git Bash? What is Git Bash? So your answer should be Git Bash is a terminal which is used to connect to Linux machines. A remote Linux machine. Where is our Linux machine running? Our Linux machine is running somewhere in Mumbai. I am based out of Hyderabad. From my Hyderabad laptop, this is from my laptop. From my Hyderabad laptop, I want to connect to Linux machine. No doubt you can connect by using what command? SSH command. SSH command is ready with you. Happily, you have the SSH command with you. But what you have to have is a terminal. What terminal you have? You can have, and there are a lot of terminals available. But the popular terminal which I want to showcase today is Git Bash. We'll be using a terminal called Git Bash for connecting to Linux machine. Do you have Git Bash with you? You have to install Git Bash now. You have to install terminal. So please install the terminal Git Bash on your personal laptop. Please install this terminal Git Bash on your personal laptop. How to install this terminal Git Bash? Very simple. Open Google. What you want? Tell me. Git Bash download. That's it. Use the word Git Bash download. Okay. Don't select this one. This is advertisement. Can you see second option, git-scm.com? This is the right side download option. And you want to download it for what? You want to download in your laptop. Your laptop is Windows operating system. If your laptop is Mac operating system, select this. So I want to download for my Windows laptop. Select this Windows and click here to download. Where I'm downloading, in my downloads folder, I am downloading that terminal. I'm downloading this terminal. Is it successfully downloaded? Let's check. Yes, it's successfully downloaded. Where it is downloaded, it is downloaded. It is successfully downloaded. Where it is downloaded, this is the terminal which is downloaded in the downloads folder. It's an exe file. When it is an exe file, what do? Obviously, when it's an exe file, you will run it, right? So double click on it and install this terminal. Are you sure you want to install this terminal? Yes. Click on next, 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 next. Take all the default options and install this terminal called Git Bash. Let's wait for the terminal to get installed. Done. I don't know to look at the release node, remove this checkbox, click on finish. I have installed the terminal. What did we do now? What did we do now? We have installed, what did we install? We have installed a terminal called Git Bash. What is the proof? Sunil, you said that you have downloaded the exe file. Very good. I can see the exe file. We have double click on it. We have executed the exe file. Okay. So what is the proof that it is installed? So when you click on this search and when you search for Git Bash, can you see we have Git Bash? Yes, we have the terminal ready with you. So this is the terminal. This is how the terminal looks like. You get a dollar prompt here. This is how the terminal looks like. This terminal is called as Git Bash terminal. Okay. I repeat again. Why do you need a terminal? So SSH command, you have the command ready with you. Linux machine is ready. And to connect to the Linux machine, what you need is an SSH command. That SSH command, how to get the SSH command, I already have shown you. Select the machine, click on connect button. You have the SSH command ready with you. So you have a SSH command ready with you. But if you want to run the SSH command, we need a terminal. That terminal is ready now, Git Bash terminal. Okay. Now open the terminal and run this SSH command. That's it. You will be connected. Okay. Let's open the terminal. Look at the way I am opening the terminal. One way of opening the terminal is click on the search option and search for Git Bash. This is one way of opening the terminal, but I'm showing you other way. I will open the terminal from the location where the key pair is available. I will open the terminal from the location where the key pair is available. Do you remember what is key pair? Go back. Whenever you're launching an EC2 machine, whenever you created an EC2 machine, in one step it is asking you to create a key pair. We already have created a key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. I remember where did we save our key pair? Our key pair is saved in my desktop. In the desktop, there's a folder called Devops. Yes, in this particular folder, the key pair is available. Yes, open to the location where the key pair is available. Key pair is a small file. My dear friends, key pair is a small file of 2 KB. Don't open the key pair. I have seen many parts with opening the PEM file. Don't open it. You don't need to open the PEM file. It is not readable at all. Right click on this folder, right click on this empty space, and then we have an option called Git Bash from here. Don't right click the PEM file. Please don't right click the PEM file. I have seen many people right clicking on the PEM file. That's wrong. Open this free space, open this free space, right click on this, open the terminal here. I am opening the terminal. Your terminal is now pointing to the folder where the key pair is available. Okay, your terminal should point out to the location, the DevOps folder. Now here, what you have to type the test. You have to copy the SSH command. SSH command you already have with us. This is the SSH command. Copy the SSH command. Paste your SSH command. Press enter. Are you sure you want to connect? Please type yes by yes. Are you sure you want to continue connecting to the Linux machine? Please type yes. Yes, my dear friends, we have successfully connected to the Linux machine. You may have a question, Sunil, what is the proof that you are connected? The proof is you are getting an IP address 172.31.34.114. This is the IP address. Let me compare the IP address with the Linux machine, which is created on the AWS console. This is the Linux machine. Can you see IP address here? We have an option of looking at the IP address here. Please look at the IP address 172.31.34.114. Are you getting the same IP address? Are you getting the same IP address 172? That's a proof that you are successfully connected. This is how. So my dear friends, the beauty is you have created Linux machine somewhere in the Mumbai data center. You are using more data center, AWS data center RAM. You're not using your laptop RAM. You're not using your laptop storage. AWS is having millions of hardware configurations freely available. You are consuming the hardware configuration of AWS data center, Mumbai region. You have created Linux machine as per the requirement. Not only creating the Linux machine from anywhere in the world, if you have the SSH command, and if you have the key pair with you, you can able to successfully connect to the Linux machine. Perfect. And why did we connect the Linux machine? So that we can start learning Linux. Why should we start learning Linux? Because the prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. Now here I can start running my Linux command. The first Linux command is, let's say, ls to see list of all the files. Right now there are no files, so you're not getting any files because the fresh line extension exit to disconnect the connection. One more, you have connection disconnected, and one more time exit to close the terminal. I show again how to connect. I repeat again how to connect. If you want to connect, open to the location where the chem file is available, right click, open the terminal, and then you get the dollar prompt. That's it. You have the SSH command, paste it, and that gets connected. Boom. So did we meet our agenda today? Yes. So my dear friends, you now know how to create an AWS account. If you're not having AWS account, go ahead and create it. Not only creating an AWS account, you now know how to create a Linux machine, how to connect to Linux machine using a terminal called Git Bash. We have successfully discussed our agenda today. Okay, so before closing, let's have interaction this time with Thomas. How is today's session?
Hi.
Thomas, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Thomas, I can hear you.
Thank you so much for, hosting this class. My question was, I was going to connect through Party because I'm unable to download the Git Bash because I use a Mac. So I wanted to ask, how do you download it using it a MacBook? But I already connected. I connected to the Ubuntu
using Putty.
Yeah, using Putty.
Yeah, you can continue with Putty, not a problem. Terminal does not make any difference. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes. Dieudonné.
Thank you a lot, Sonny. I believe you can hear me.
Yes.
Good. Dieudonné from UAE. I don't know. I missed yesterday class, and everything
Are you in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, I'm in the WhatsApp group.
I hope you got the recorded session of yesterday's session.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it. So I was like thinking how to create an AWS account. Maybe I'll have to go back there so that I catch up and be ready for tomorrow. Everything seems interesting today, but I miss out and I'm completely new, to this.
Okay. So you have missed yesterday's session, so I recommend you to watch the video which we already have posted in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you. Suhel Tamboli.
Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. How are you? I'm fine. You're from which location?
I'm from Sholapur, Maharashtra. Yesterday also you talked, sir.
You're lucky. You're talking for the second time.
Yeah. Actually, I want to know. Someone is asking the 50 instance how can create. You tell the Terra Bash. I think.
Yes, you are right. Terraform.
Terraform. Sorry. You can teach us the coding of Terraform, sir, in this.
Yes, we will also touch base Terraform also.
Okay, sir. No issue.
Okay, so
also, we are using Putty right now.
You can continue with Putty, not a problem. Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you try Git Bash? Try Git Bash also.
Okay. I want to ask you, sir, which is the best, which is simplest, Putty or Git Bash? Because of in Putty, we can go to PuttyGen and create a PPK file and all these things.
This is more simple, na? Git Bash is easy. You don't
yeah. This is very simple.
Try Git Bash.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nagendra.
Hi, good evening, Sunil.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm from QA background.
Okay.
So
how many years of experience?
It's almost 15.
Okay.
Yeah. So my question, about your session, it's really, very easy to understand the way you are explaining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you know AWS or is it new for you?
I know bits and pieces.
Okay.
My question is like this session is AW couple Devops with AW, right?
Correct.
So without cloud, so can we apply DevOps like for on-premises applications?
There are very less number of opportunities of DevOps on premises. Okay.
Okay.
Most of the DevOps clients are on cloud. Okay. Actually, DevOps and cloud goes together. That's the driving force together.
Okay.
So I've seen very nice. There are clients who are using DevOps tools on premises, but very less number of opportunities.
Yeah, because currently, the organization I'm working at, they're trying to bring DevOps, but we are not on cloud. So I was trying to understand.
In fact, you can understand the concepts, whatever we are implementing. Okay. See, the only thing is the operating system remains the same, whether it is on AWS or on premises, isn't it, Nagendra?
Right.
So whatever the examples we are executing on AWS, you can execute it on your virtual machines. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you. I'm sorry, many people are raising their hands, so please don't mind. Pragati Jain.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So actually, I'm a final year student. I don't have any experience. I just want to ask you one question. Like this is DevOps with AWS. I don't have that great knowledge in AWS. I was actually attending your previous sessions on AWS. But due to semester exam, I missed few classes.
Okay.
So I want to ask you,
you know
like,
basics
when
of
are you
AWS,
continuing
right?
with your sessions in AWS?
I am not
Yes,
starting
sir.
AWS. I have stopped teaching AWS. Okay. 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 Yeah.
Actually, I joined of Ankit sir, but I didn't like his teaching that much as you did.
Okay. See, because every person is different with their own skills, right? But as of now, I have no ideas of starting AWS. I have stopped AWS. Right now, I'm focusing on Python and DevOps. Okay, Pragati.
Okay, so any other source from which we can have a good command on AWS?
You can try. I cannot recommend. Okay, probably you can try from Udemy. Stephen Marek is one good course on Udemy. You can try with this. Okay, search for Stephen Marek AWS course. He's the author. Okay, Pragati.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
How are you, Rahul?
Hello.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, hi Sunil. One question here is in AWS we are using a putty for the terminal access of Linux machine.
Okay.
Can we use Git Bash?
You can use. That's what we have done it, right?
Okay.
Both are equivalent. Only terminal changes. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to
Well,
introduce you one. In Putty, you have a hard work of converting the PEM file to PPK file. Here, there is nothing straightforward. You can copy the SSH command and do it. Okay. Why don't you try?
Correct. Okay.
Anything more?
Thank you. No more. Sorry.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, my dear friends, I hope you have enjoyed the session. Okay, so stay tuned for tomorrow. What is our plan for tomorrow? So, as we are now and one more important point, once you are done with doing the hands-on with respect to Linux machine, please, okay, go to actions, select the machine, whichever you want. Right now, machine is running. Please don't log out. You have to stop the machine. That's a good practice. Please stop the machine. Only after this will take 1 minute of the time for stopping the machine. After stopping the machine, then only you please log out. That's a good practice of how to use your instances on AWS cloud. Stay tuned for tomorrow. What is our plan for tomorrow? As we have the Linux machine ready for you, ready. The tomorrow's session is completely hardcore Linux. Okay, right from the first minute, we'll be drilling down the concepts which are required to make users very comfortable with the Linux environment. Okay, so stay tuned for tomorrow's session. Have a good time. If you're not part of WhatsApp group, okay, we are getting mails. Yes, you are right. We are getting mails. Give me, so if you do not belong to WhatsApp group, so I'm just sending you the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. Sorry. Please be online. Please complete the payment formalities if you have decided. Meanwhile, I'm sending you the WhatsApp group link to join the chat box. From the chat box, 1 minute. DevOps batch, okay. So 103, this is batch number 103-6. So my dear friends, if you do not belong, do not join the duplicate groups. If you do not belong to WhatsApp group of this particular course, to get the updates about this course, you have to join this particular WhatsApp group, DevOps batch 106, AWS DevOps batch 106-6. Okay, perfect. Okay, okay. So let's have one more call. Vamsi Krishna.
Hey Sunil.
How are you, Vamsi?
I'm good, Sunil. How about you?
Doing well, thank you. You're from which city?
I am from Hyderabad.
Okay, good. Your experience, please.
I have 12 years of experience into IT industry. Yeah, I work with the different technologies like PHP and Node.js, AWS, and Python, Terraform, and everything.
Good.
Yeah. So I came to know about your Python class. So I joined there, and
you already know Python.
Yes, but yeah, bits and pieces, not completely. Yeah, so you know, as experience goes on, so whenever the requirement comes, you need to learn and you need to implement that. So as that process, in that process, I learned everything like Node.js, Python, and yeah, complete full stack. So now, yeah, I'm interested to complete this course.
DevOps
so as
also.
you are going, yeah, DevOps course. So as you are going step by step. So yeah, and I would like to have some references for this certifications. Yeah.
Okay. Vamsi, first point, as I have mentioned before, there is no certification course for DevOps. Okay.
No, yeah, there is no certification for DevOps, but
because the reason I'll tell you, because it's a collection of tools. Agree, Vamsi?
Yes,
DevOps is a
yes,
combination of tools.
yes.
So for Terraform is one tool. For Terraform, there is a separate certification.
Yes, yes.
For Docker, there is a separate certification. For Jenkins, we have a separate
Understood.
certification. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no common certification for DevOps professionals.
Yes, yes. So I do understand that, but yeah, I would like some references for this Terraform and Kubernetes. Yeah.
I will give you. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
No doubt. Okay. Yeah,
thank you.
Praveen, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Hi, Praveen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So actually, I was your Python student.
Okay. Many from Python,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm completely new to this DevOps. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm completely fresher.
Good.
Actually,
We have a
I'm
lot of
from.
success stories for freshers also, Praveen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
And
the best.
actually, yeah, thank you. But I'm from non-IT background,
Doesn't
and
matter.
I want to jump into the IT.
No matter.
So,
No problem.
yeah.
Okay. Acquire the skills. Okay.
Okay.
We also get some opportunities. Many companies will also call us asking for fresher profiles and experience profiles. Okay. We are planning to build a small job. We are planning to build a small job portal also. Okay.
Okay.
Like Naukri, where you can also create and upload your resumes on our portal, and our portal will be the platform where HRs can connect, and then you can also post your resumes. Okay.
Okay.
So we are planning to have that kind of solution soon, so that will help in recruitment process.
Okay. So, but I want to ask you one thing. That is how the DevOps and AWS is helpful for me.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at your question. AWS and DevOps will helpful for you.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your objective? To get into IT job, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To get into IT job, you know, there are a lot of skills available, right? There are a lot of courses available. You can learn
Yeah.
DevOps, you can learn Azure, you can learn Node.js, you can learn artificial intelligence, you can learn machine learning.
Yeah.
So not only AWS, so every course will be helpful for you. You have to select one technology and master it, Praveen.
Okay.
Okay, there are a lot of technologies available, right? Isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are a lot of courses available, right? You have to select
Yeah.
one course.
Okay.
Make sure that whatever you're selecting is good for future. It should not be
Yeah.
outdated one. Okay.
Okay.
And then master it. So it's not specifically AWS DevOps. Any course, if you master it, I'm sure you have the right opportunities. Okay. And make sure that you select the right one.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed sessions. Stay tuned for tomorrow where we have a hardcore training on Linux commands from tomorrow. Have a good time. Thank you very much.